Great, so just going to continue on. So I think now we're at 30. So now it says add an ID to all of your radio inputs so you can link your labels to them, and give the first one an ID of, alright, so add an ID to the radio inputs so you can link your labels, give the first one, okay. So I think this needs to have an ID of Q1 A1. So it's like question 1, answer 1. And this would be presumably for false. So this would be question 1, answer 2. So Q1 A2. And for this, it needs to be Q2 answer 1, and for this, it needs to be Q2 answer 2. I think that was it. What I was supposed to do. I think it's going to be more linking. Although not required for label elements with the nested input, it is still best practice to explicitly link a label with its corresponding input elements. Now add a for attribute to each of your 4 labels that links the label to its corresponding radio input. So basically meaning that make 4 equal the ID. So copy this. Copy, we'll just copy it, but then put A2. Oh, yeah, here it is. Instead of Q2A1, and for this, I'll make it Q2A2. So that should be what I was supposed to do. All right. Step 32. Give the labels elements text such as the input comes before the text. Then give the input elements a value matching the text. The text should either be true or false. Okay, so give the label elements text such that the input comes before the text. Okay. So I think I'm supposed to say true here, and then false here. So it happens after the text. And then for value, I'll make that equal to true. And and for here I'll make the value equal to true, false. So I think they wanted that for all of them. So A1 is always going to be true. So then the value, I don't think capitalization matters, but I'm just going to make it. Just to be on the safe side. Then answered false. It's going to be false here. Alright, so the code does pass. So step 33, if you click on the radio inputs, you might notice both inputs within the same true and false field set can be selected at the same time. Group the relevant inputs together such that only one input from a pair can be selected at a time. Okay, so that would mean that they would need the same name. So click on the radio buttons, you might notice that both inputs within the same true and false can be selected at the same time, which a radio button can't have. A real radio button, when it's working properly, that's not supposed to happen. Group the relevant inputs together. So my instinct of how I should go about this is, I believe, make the name. I'm going to make the name well, actually, I should make the name Q1. So then that means that both of these radio buttons correspond to the same question. So I think if I see it, alright, so see right there? Now if you notice, as I click on it, now they both can't be, it's not like both can be selected at the same time, but that code isn't there yet, so it can. So this is just not operating like a radio button's supposed to, but this is, because it makes you pick true or false. So it's all in the name. So for this, okay, yeah, I got it. For this, Q2, and the name is going to be Q2. Name's going to be Q2. It'll be Q2. Spacing's just a little weird here. Hold on. Oh, yeah, there we are. So now the code passes, so now here it even is functioning like a radio button, but now we have that functionality put in because of that code. To prevent unnecessary repetition, target the before pseudo element of the P element and give it a content property of question. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so if I remember how to do this, I don't know if I am. I think it was before something like that. Of a P element. And give the content this attribute. Oh, okay. So I got the order wrong. That's close though. That's closer than I thought. P before. Wow. Okay. So now, step 35. The final section of this quiz will contain a drop-down and text box. Begin by nesting a div with a class of form row. Okay. So contain a drop-down text box. So begin by nesting a div. So I think the div goes here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And altering their class attributes with question block and answer. So I think it was going to be question block. Okay, so this. Okay, so I'll just make it like this. So this one's going to be question block. Every other one's going to be question block because it's question then answer, question then answer. So these two are going to be question block. So we'll start with that. So question, question, and now class, and now answer. So I mean, I guess I can just type answer. Alright, so the code passes. So step 36, within the div.question block elements, nest one label element and give the label elements text content. Okay, so I guess it's making up the question. So in here we're putting the label. So am I supposed to? I think I'm supposed to just ask a question. I guess regarding CSS. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a question. Maybe if it's going to be a text box, I'll say, what is CSS? Then the answer would be whatever it is. And maybe, I don't know, I'm just making up a question why I use CSS. I'm just not sure on the format how it'll work. I think they're gonna think of better questions than me. That'll kind of make more sense. But that's what I'm gonna go with right now. Alright, but it did pass. So within the first div.answer element, nest one required select element. Alright, so this is a selector. Select. This is a drop-down menu. So it's gonna have an option. And give it the value of, I guess, quotes in quotes. And select, and the text, select an option. So do I say select an option here? I'm actually not sure what they're asking me to do. So this one's value is going to be yes. And the text is going to be yes. Now another one. And it's going to be, the values of this is going to be no. But it's going to be a capitalized no right here. Oh, so I'm supposed to put a required. Attribute here. Okay, so that's literally it. It didn't mention that, but basically means it'll require an answer. So that's right here. So basically, if you don't, it'll not let you do that. Step 38. Link the first label element to the select element and give the select element a name element. So I guess I'll call it front end and linking it would be making that the same. No, I think this would make it, this would link it, and if I give the name for it, that would do it. Yeah. Step 39. Nest one text area element within the second div.answer element. And set the number of rows and columns it has. I don't know. Why am I here? But I'm not sure on the rows and columns because it's not telling me what, like, how much rows does it want? Is it three? I don't know. I mean, how much rows does it want? And then I'll make that 3. Okay, so it's just some arbitrary number. Well, I think I'm probably supposed to have like a little bit more than that, so I'll probably say like 15. So, okay, so 15 words will fit in. So maybe 30. And I don't know, 10? Give like a good answer. Or 7 maybe? I don't know. It's just arbitrary, really. So I guess they decided on 5 and 24. As with the other input label elements, link the text area to its corresponding label element and give it a name attribute. Yeah, so I think I'm running to the 24-minute mark, so I'm gonna try to end them so they're not really long tutorials. So I'm gonna end it here and pick up where I left off.